Several of Canada's mainstream media news outlets were responsible for pushing for Justin Trudeau's censorship bill, Bill C18. Now, all of you guys have been following this. You know that Bill C18 passed in June and it resulted in news bans. So after these mainstream media outlets pushed for Bill C18, now they've got this news ban situation. Guess what they're doing? There's new reports that are coming out that the head of the newspaper lobby, News Media Canada, wrote to MPs last week and said this: they need $595 million for bailout money. More, they need another $595 million. So this is being reported by Blacklock's reporter as well as the Western Standard. And I just so think about this for a second. You've got the newspaper lobby who pushed for Bill C18. Google and Meta said, hey, if you do this, we are going to be forced to block the news because we can't have an uncapped liability. They then blocked the news, and now the newspapers are going, whoa, whoa, whoa. We need $595 million worth of taxpayer dollars. And this is after they got bailout money already. Come on, the audacity of this is something. So what can we do about this? Well, I think we have to really start getting serious about showing independent media that we support them, right? There's lots of news media outlets in Canada that take zero taxpayer dollars and they seem to be doing just fine. And also, there are ways to get around the news ban. So I just want to point out something. So yesterday I came to you live last night and we're talking about the situation in the House of Commons with the invitation of the alleged actual Nazi. Do you think that the mainstream media broke that story? No, it was an independent outlet that broke that story. It took almost a day for the mainstream media to catch on, to put anything out. And even when it was just a little bit of stuff, right? So how do we get around these news bans? Well, you've got to subscribe to whatever local or independent media source that you trust. Now, as far as me bringing you information, in this news ban environment, this is the first time the House of Commons has sat since C18 went into effect. So I'm trying to write to you and bring you information about what's happening in Ottawa, as well as trends that I'm seeing that perhaps aren't being covered in Ottawa. So today and many of you who subscribe already, you get this in your inbox. Today I've written you a long form piece about sort of demystifying. There's a lot of people that are like, oh, why are women in Canada switching their allegiances from the Liberal Party? And there's a lot of reasons for that, but there's also some specific inflationary issues. And this is something that hasn't been really covered in the mainstream media, but I've certainly observed it. And I want you to read about this as well too. I want to bring you this information so that you know what's going on. So the link's in the video description. It is free. You don't have to pay anything for it. If you click on the link in the video description, you can read this article, but also click subscribe because it allows me to directly communicate with you and frankly beat these news bans that these newspapers, can you believe that they're now asking for another $595 million? There's a value in journalism. Let me be very clear. I think it's really important for Canada to have non-biased, credible, investigative journalism. It helps hold the government to account. But what this money, how much of this money in the past has gone to actual journalism? That's the problem here, right? So it's a failed business model, and we have to make sure that we are supporting independent media outlets that are, trying to use new media tools to get the word out. And for me as a parliamentarian, you can click on the link to the newsletter that I put out. I try to put it out twice a week with things that are happening in Ottawa. It is free. And it allows me to directly communicate with you and skip Facebook algorithms, Twitter algorithms, YouTube algorithms, Bill C18, Bill C11, all of these things that have been put in place to stop people from communicating with each other. There's better ways to do it. So click on the link in the video description, have a read with your Monday morning coffee, and click subscribe. Also, ask someone else to subscribe to it if you've already subscribed to. It makes a difference to be able to directly communicate with folks. I'm heading to the House of Commons. It's going to be an interesting day here in Ottawa on Monday, especially with everything that happened with this individual in the House of Commons on Friday. But also rest assured that Conservatives are focused squarely on reducing the cost of living, having accountability for the inflationary crisis, and making things more affordable for you, because we know that that's what Canadians are really struggling with right now. So you can hear a lot more of that. And again, link in the video description is just some observations that I've had on dynamics that I really think a lot of politicians perhaps might have missed, and part of the reason why women are starting to change their vote from the Liberal Party to other parties, including the Conservative Party of Canada. So have a read, click subscribe, it helps me beat the news bans. And remember that these media outlets that push for Bill C18 are now asking for over $500 million of your tax dollars, and that's ridiculous. Working hard for you in Ottawa. Share this video, click subscribe, have a great day.